Okay.
This is one of the masters of planetary work who's been doing it as long or longer than me, specializing in the planets for the predicting and trading of markets, has a wealth of knowledge. If that's your area of interest, you couldn't find a better guy. How about that?
Okay.
Oh, and he also used to be a floor trader at the SIBO.
Okay.
And he lives in Naples, Florida, not Italy. And he's a great teacher.
Thank you. I'd like to add that I've been doing this, studying the market since I was 15, and I'm 68 now. And I was on the CBOE and the Chicago Board of Trade over a 12-year period from the 70s and the 80s. And when I landed there, I was invested in college successfully, and was able to. I stumbled on buying a membership on the fledgling Chicago Board Options Exchange in 1975
You
for
stumbled.
25.
Were you at the sign of the trader before you went in the building with all the
I
other guys stumbling back on the floor?
I did never was
It was a
inebriated.
bar.
My money was important to me, so I never traded inebriated.
Okay.
I might
All
might
right.
I might go for a beer afterwards, but that
All
was
right.
it.
Let me ask you this. After all this time, do you finally have the hang of it?
No, this is like anything. You'll never reach perfection. You can try.
Yeah, it's a good goal. All right.
Yeah.
So now we want you to share your screen, bro. So that little green box,
Oh yeah.
share.
I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully it'll work now.
It'll work.
There,
Here it
can you see
comes.
my notes now?
It's coming up. Yep. Got you, Norm.
Okay.
Take it away.
All righty. So here's my notes now. Hopefully you all can see those.
Yeah, and we see the March
And
Coffee daily chart.
this is a huge window we're in here now. The next actually started yesterday and into the day and into the weekend. Probably maybe the biggest window I've seen in a long time.
Is tonight the lunar eclipse, Norm?
No, this afternoon,
This afternoon. Okay.
2:22 p.m. Eastern time.
Oh, okay. So before the NYSE closed. Okay.
Yep, exactly.
All
All
right.
right.
Go
Well,
ahead, bro.
I'm just gonna go back one step here, back to the last window. That's an important window where we had a solar eclipse.
Yeah.
We're in the eclipse season. Twice a year, you have an eclipse season where you have a solar eclipse and a lunar eclipse. They're like pairs. Solar eclipse is a special kind of new moon. Lunar eclipse is a special kind of full moon. The Earth, the Sun, and the Moon all line up for the solar eclipse. That was back on the wee hours of December 26th. Then we had the Earth get between the Moon and the Sun, and then I'm sorry, it's the other way around. The Moon gets between the Earth and the Sun and blocks out the Sun, so that's why the Sun disappears. All right. So there you go. So then back on the 26th, we're going to look at what the markets did. Generally speaking, we have the grains, financials, precious metals. There we go. Financials, grains, precious metals, stocks, and in this case, because it landed in the sign Capricorn, we'll be looking at coffee. Okay, so here's my charts. Here's the coffee chart. You can see we traded into a nice little wedgie apex there right on the 26th, and then it broke out of there. That's not unusual if you have a triangle or wedge, that it comes to the apex at the key date. Okay, and then we broke out, and you had a chance to make a little bit of money there on the upside. It wasn't fantastic, but not all of them are. And every now and then it doesn't work too.
And you're looking for a low here in this time window?
Well, I'm going to be talking about the future
Oh,
here
okay. Okay.
at the end of this. Okay. So here we go. Now we're going to be looking at what the markets did back on December 26th. Look at that. Look at the copper. Nailed the top on the copper.
That was a good one.
Okay. Pretty nice, huh?
Yeah.
On the corn, here's one of my principles. It's called Newton's Law. For every action, there's an opposite equal reaction. The bigger the extreme the market is into one of these key planetary key dates, the greater the potential for a reversal the other way. If we're going sideways, it's not much potential for a reversal, you see? So there we go. It's a mirror image thing. So if we're going sideways into the window, then it's probably going to go sideways after the window, and that's what happens. So I wouldn't do anything there, on the corn. Okay, here's the gold did not work. Every now and then I have a miss, and there you go. The gold just accelerated. Here's another principle. When it doesn't work on something that has a fairly good batting average, then often it will be, like huge. It won't just miss by a little bit. It'll miss by a whole lot. So that's why you want to have stop losses. And if it doesn't work within a day or so, or you take out that level there, like, we're going up, we're going to sell there, and we take out that level the next day or the day after, you want to be getting out. And if you want to be aggressive, you might want to stop and reverse and go with the flow. Okay, here's silver was a little better with selling at that window. We made a little bit of a top there. Could have made a little small amount of money there on the silver. Here's beans. It was you had a chance to make a little bit of money on the beans and pulled back for a couple of days. If you want to hang in there on the beans, you could have made bigger money down the road about several days later. Here's the wheat. This is the way it's supposed to look. Wheat went down, down, down into the solar eclipse, and then went up, up, up. That's what we like to. That's what we're looking for. S&P made a nice short-term top
Yeah.
there the next day on the 27th.
They laughed at me about that solar eclipse top.
Okay, well, did they go and do their homework? Probably not.
No,
And
they just, a lot of people think it's
Dale, they all
malarkey.
Dale, they all laughed at Christopher Columbus when he said the world was round. Right?
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, ha
Thought it
ha
was
ha.
like
It's a song lyric,
oh,
ha
yeah.
ha ha ha. Who's got the last laugh now, right? So there you
Yeah.
go. All right, here's T bonds. Rallies up. There you go. You're one day early and maybe a half of a handle from the top there, from a nice top there. And for the folks who don't know about bonds, every handle in bonds is $1,000. It's kind of a big animal. So you drop a couple of handles, you're looking at a couple $1,000 in just a few days. Here's a dollar. I know you folks like currencies. There you go. There's your dollar index.
That was pretty good.
Top right there on the eclipse. You see that?
Yeah.
That's why you need. I showed you this stuff so you'll see that you might want to pay attention to this stuff. Oh, look at that! There's the euro making a low. Of course, it's a mirror image of the dollar, pretty much,
Right.
and it's making a low right there on the eclipse. Here's the yen. The yen of all the currencies, probably, historically, has followed this stuff the best.
I wonder why.
I don't know. I was in first when I first got on the internet, I joined some email trading group, and they were all skeptical, like you were indicating with your folks there, and they were making fun of me and making jokes. And one guy who was skeptical had a background in statistics, computers, and he ran the data for all the markets for the new moon, full moon, and he came back and said, wow, this stuff kind of works well. And he says it looks like the yen is the best. So there you go. All right, there we go. There's a beautiful low there, right to the day for the yen. So All right, now I'm going to shift gears here. We're going to look at what I call the planetary index. Some of you may have heard of Donald Bradley or the Bradley index for the forecast in the stock market.
Arch Crawford kind of made him.
I do this
popularized him.
I'm sorry.
Arch Crawford kind of popularized the Bradley model.
Well, I don't know about that, but okay.
All right.
Well, anyway, so I do this a couple weeks in advance for a month at a time. And so, I do this blue line back in November. This is for December. There's your dates there, starting on Monday the 2nd, ending on Friday the 27th. And I do the blue line there, back in November. And then I overlay the actual S&P 10-minute bar chart on top of that. And you can see, I think that worked out pretty well.
Yeah. So it's a Bradley kind of like in a way, a fractal norm?
No, but that's but you must be like psychopathic, because that's the next thing I'm going to talk about.
I am.
A joke there, psychopath.
How did you know?
What's that?
What's your address? You bastard. I'm psychopathic.
It was a joke. All right, here we go. Let's look at. Now I also do fractals every year in February.
I pulled the corn chart up a little bit more. It's not.
What's that?
Pull the chart up a little bit more.
I'm going to. Okay.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
It takes up the whole screen. The whole page.
Oh, okay.
It's big. It's big.
All right. I got it.
All right. Anyway, every February I look at the January price action and use that. I can extrapolate for the year. What is, for some of your folks don't know, what is a fractal? Let's take it comes from nature. And one of the more perfect examples of a fractal item is a pine tree. If you ever look at a pine tree, its branches look like miniature pine trees. The twigs look like miniature branches. So what a fractal is where you have the same pattern repeating at different levels of order. Elliott wave is a fractal system. Okay. So if we could take some things, we could take a small piece of that and then extrapolate it out to the bigger picture, and you might end up with a pretty good forecast. Well, look at the corn here. Look at that. See the blue bars? I did that back in February, and then after the fact, I overlaid the black bars, the actual prices. And you can see this kind of nailed the top there in corn back in June. You see that? Okay.
Nice.
Here's OJ. No, hardly anybody trades OJ, but just for fun, I thought I would do that. And if
Eddie Murphy and the Duke brothers.
I was just going to mention that looking good, feeling good, Lewis.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. There you go. So the fractal, that's the blue bars, done back in February. Actually, the publishing date was February the 11th for the rest of the year. And look at that. It said OJ was going down, down, down. And you can see the black bars. That's pretty much what it did. You see that?
Yep.
That's pretty amazing. I think it says we live in a fractal universe. I don't know if you folks care about how the universe is put together, but that kind of determines how these markets work because we're part of the big picture. Here's
and
your Dow Jones.
A fractured country.
Okay, here's your Dow Jones, and it said that we had the potential if we get on this track that we're going to have a huge up move, and that's what we had. You see that?
Yep.
Now, here's another thing. Look, sometimes it looks like it's not working that well.
Yeah, it inverts.
It has a temporary inversion. I'm going to put my cursor right there at that top, on that blue top. Yeah. I'm going to go down and look at the blue bars. A lot of times it'll nail the turn. The timing is still good, even though the direction is up inverted, you see?
So how do you know that going into it?
Well, you look at what the market's doing at that window. This is a change in trend window there, obviously.
Okay.
And the blue bars are making a turn. Okay.
Right.
And then you say, oh, it didn't go up, it went down. Well, now I'll look for a low, right?
Got it.
Here's wheat. Wheat was kind of funny because it nailed it beautifully. Look at that. See that? And it etched out a giant W for wheat. You see that?
Oh, yeah. I like that.
And that's what the fractal forecasted. You see the forecast, the fractal had a big W, and that's what it did. Okay.
Nice.
Okay, I know you folks like currencies, so I thought I'd sprinkle in here some currencies, and there you go. Look at that. There's the euro. Wasn't perfect, but when it did get on track, started getting on track about April of this past year. And look at that. Once it got on track, it was pretty good. And look at that. It came very close to nailing that low in October. You see that?
Yeah.
Here's your Swiss franc. Look at that. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
See, I'm thinking about starting to track the Vienna franc, because I understand.
Oh, God, those were the best in Chicago.
What's that?
Those were the Chicago hot dogs.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. You're making me hungry, buddy.
All right, here's a dollar. Look at that. That's pretty good. You see? Oh, here's a great example of a temporary inversion. Let's look at that blue bar there. It's supposed to have been a low. It turned out to be, let's see, I'm going to go straight up now. And bing, bang, bong, there, it's the top there. Almost exactly. You see that?
Yeah.
These fractals are amazing. Okay. All right, what's coming up here? Why did I ask to come on your show, Dale? Because it's huge. Look at this long list of stuff that's happening between started yesterday and today and into the weekend. You see that?
Yeah.
Including Saturn getting together with Pluto. That only occurs every 33 and a half years. They land in a particular sign in the zodiac. There's 12 signs of the zodiac, And so I went and researched. Everything's landing in Capricorn, as you can see this picture here. Everything's all bunched together. There's Saturn, there's Pluto, that's Mercury, that's the Sun. They're all bunched together there in a small arc on the circle, you see?
Yeah.
Okay, Saturn and Pluto only get together every 33 and a half years. I went and researched when was the last time they were in the sign Capricorn and together. Together is called conjunct. I had to go back. I went through 600 years of data. Finally found it. It was back 502 years ago. January the 3rd of 1518. You probably remember that, Dale, right?
We had a great party.
There you go.
I was a serf.
There you go.
So
Surf's up, right?
yeah, feudalism.
All right. Anyway, got lots of stuff. I use the U.S. natal chart also to forecast the U.S. financials, such as stocks, D bonds, and the U.S. dollar. And that's the natal chart. Is we take a snapshot of the planets at the beginning of something, like when Dale was born or when our country was founded on July the 4th, 1776. I have this nailed down, I believe, to the minute, when Thomas Jefferson first signed the Declaration of Independence at 2:12 in the morning. And I got this. I do day trading where you have to know they get it down to the exact minute. All right, so we got yesterday from the point of view of the sun. That's helio or heliocentric. Saturn got together with Pluto that started yesterday. Then we had some stuff with the U.S. natal chart, and then we had the full moon lunar eclipse is this afternoon at 2:21, 2:22 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to round up our usual suspects: financials, grains, precious metals, coffee, and because it's in the full moon is in the lunar eclipse is in the sign of Cancer. We'll be looking at silver and also stocks. And yeah, okay, so there we go. And then we have, another one of my top things is due to the relative motion of the Earth, it appears, that's the operative word, it appears when you look out at the planets that they look like they stop their motion and reverse their direction. Jill, you probably heard of Mercury retrograde and that kind of thing. That's all
Yeah.
part of this. It's when they stop their motion momentarily. That's called a station point. The planet Uranus is going to be turning direct. It's going to stop to go forward in the sign of Taurus the Bull this weekend. Okay. Yeah, I can't emphasize enough how much huge stuff is all happening within a couple of days here. When this has happened in the past, when we had similar, when you had all the plants bunched up like that, often occurs with a major turn in the markets. You might remember 1987, we had what they call the Mayan harmonic convergence, 6 planets all lined up together in a short amount, almost right together there on August the 25th, 87, led to the crash of 87 in October. That was the high of the year. Okay, I'm not saying we're going to have a crash now, but I think we had the potential here for significant turns in many markets. Okay.
Okay.
So let's see what else we got. We got Saturn and Pluto this weekend. Uranus turning direct. We got the eclipse this afternoon, plus all this stuff. This is one long list of stuff. You see that? That's what it looks like in terms of the planets all bunched up together. There's the moon down there. It's going to be exactly opposite the sun this afternoon for the eclipse. And open to fielding questions or comments, whatever.
Okay.
Anybody in your chat room there have any questions or
I'm looking
comments?
at any questions for you. Put it in chat if you want to ask Norm something. And I have Q&A up too if you want to do it there. Go ahead, Norm. Nothing yet. I'll let you know.
Okay. Well, here's how you get a hold of me. I've been doing this a long time. I had enough success there investing in college that I took my winnings and bought a
Oh, I
membership.
got one. Anything for Jan 18th from Brock? He
I'm
must
sorry?
have something. Anything for January 18th? Brock
I
is
don't know. I'm
asking.
focused on this. Is huge. Why would I focus on January 18th when this is one of the biggest windows in decades?
Okay.
Let's focus
Fair
on right
answer.
now. How we can make some money here in the next 1 to 2 trading days. I
Okay.
think,
He's
I
saying
got
it's a possibility, good Tom. And
I'm
Brock, if you have an interest in this kind of stuff, Norm's a good guy for you to,
There you go. There's my contact
embellish it.
information right there. And so, just for example, the S&P has been going up, up, up. You might have heard about it. And
Yeah.
I had Fibonacci. I have a formula for the S&P to convert the position of the planets to prices. And also, I know I do Fibonacci, and all this stuff comes
Oh,
together right around the 3288 to 3292 level. And
okay.
so far this morning, I think the S&P got to 3287, 88, something like that on the futures. We'll have to see what the cash does when we open up here at 9:30. So anyway, you look at any Marcus said making any kind of extreme overbought, oversold at the top of their channel, bottom of their channel here today or into the weekend, and there's a good chance that they're going to reverse by Monday. Okay, on my stock market. I have a sentiment indicator for the stock market. I got a rare sell signal based on yesterday's action. Where I look at the option numbers, and there's too many call buyers. There's too many people playing with the calls. Everybody thinks the only way they make money now. You forget selling. Just buy, 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 buy. That's and you know what happens when we get there. The sentiment indicators get extreme
When
there.
was the last time we were this extreme on that number? Can you remember?
Well, the thing is, this is unprecedented to get I call it the Now Index. I named it
Right,
after my old badge there on the floor. I was
right.
Now,
Yeah.
NOW. And so to get this to line up with all this planetary stuff lining up is unbelievable. I don't remember the last time I ever saw anything like this before.
And you've seen some cycles,
Well,
bro.
to say it's huge is an understatement, in my opinion. So here's
Okay.
my contact information. Looking forward to helping some of your folks here. I got free classes, free trials, free letters, free, free, free. It's all free. Some of my stuff, a lot of my stuff is free, and if you mention Dale's name, you can get it free with a money back
No,
guarantee.
no. If you mention my name, it's not only free, but Norm will pay you for taking his class.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
got
how
that.
much? You can't get any more extreme than free,
There you go. You
except
get
if you
the
paid someone to listen to you,
you
which I
mention
do
Dale,
when
you
I
get it.
go out singing. I pay for people to listen to me.
You
Anyway,
mention Dale, you get it free with a money back guarantee too.
yeah. Okay.
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 All right,
Thanks so
Dale.
much,
Anything
Norm.
else?
What a
Anybody
cool
have any
day.
questions before I go? There's my
Uh,
contact information. I'm in sunny Naples, Florida. 239-594-3939. Unless you only have audio, in case you only have audio. There's my long email address, so you might want to take a screenshot of my contact information there. N
okay.
Winski and Bark with a Q in the middle there. That's like root beer, Bark, BARQ, mail.com. Skype is N Winski_1. So there you go.
Okay.
Looking
Just
forward to
one
hearing from you.
question, Norm.
Get a hold of me right away before I get busy. At the end of the month, I'm doing the
Yeah.
next month's letter. So this is the best time to get a hold of me right now.
Thank you, my trading warrior brother.
Thank you very much.
Good luck on this turn.
Thank you. You too. I hope you figure out how to make some money.
So that's a wrap, everyone. Have a great weekend. Good hunting the rest of the day. Thank you again, Norm Winski. And really, if you have an interest in this type of work, check it out. There's some no-risk things to get to know Norm. And I'll see everyone on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. Remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Adios, everyone. You're welcome, Brock, Richard. Got WhatsApp, the mobile, Norm. Are you still there? Do you have WhatsApp?
You talking to me?
Yeah, it's
What did
Richard's asking.
what did you ask me?
It's an app called WhatsApp.
Oh,
For why don't you just take his Skype down, Richard, or his phone number? I don't think Norm uses WhatsApp. That's
no, I
for
don't
you,
have that. I know
you
what.
millennials. Okay,
Yeah, I know what
we're
he's talking about. I don't have that.
yeah. Norm and I still, have to.
We're over the
We
maximum.
still use a rotary phone.
We're over the maximum age for the WhatsApp.
Yeah. We can't do that. We're in ARP. They don't allow it. All right, Norm. Have a great weekend, buddy.
All right. Thanks a lot, Dale.
I'll see you.